Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Snow White. Once upon a time, there was a queen. It was the middle of winter. Snow fell softly from the sky. The queen sat by a window. She was sewing with a needle. The window frame was made of dark wood. Suddenly, the needle pricked her finger. 3 drops of red blood fell on the white snow. The queen looked at the red blood. She looked at the white snow. She looked at the dark wood. Then she said softly,
I wish I had a child. I wish her skin were as white as snow. I wished her lips were as red as blood, and I wished her hair were as black as this dark wood.
After some time, the queen had a baby girl. The baby looked just as the queen had wished. Her skin was white like snow. Her lips were red like blood. Her hair was black like dark wood.
Her name shall be Snow White.
Snow White, a beautiful name.
But soon after Snow White was born, her mother died. The king was very sad. A year later, the king married again. The new queen was very beautiful. But she was proud. She was also cruel. She did not want anyone to be more beautiful than she was. The new queen had a magic mirror. Every day, she stood in front of it. She asked,
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
The mirror always answered,
You, my queen, are the fairest of all.
The queen loved this answer. It made her happy. Years passed. Snow White grew into a lovely little girl. She was kind. She was gentle. She was sweet. And she became more and more beautiful. When Snow White was 7 years old, she became more beautiful than the queen. One morning, the queen stood before the mirror again.
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
This time, the mirror answered,
My queen, you are fair, but Snow White is fairer than you.
The queen was very angry. Her heart filled with jealousy. From that day on, she hated Snow White. Each day, the queen grew more angry. At last, she called a huntsman.
Take Snow White into the forest. Kill her. Bring me her heart. Then I will know she is dead.
The huntsman was afraid of the queen. So he took Snow White into the forest. They walked deep into the woods. At last, the huntsman stopped. He raised his knife. Snow White was very scared.
Please do not hurt me. Let me run away. I will never come back to the palace.
Run, child. Run far away. Do not come back.
Snow White ran into the forest. She ran as fast as she could. The huntsman did not kill her. Instead, he killed a wild boar. He took the boar's heart back to the castle. The queen believed him. But Snow White was alive. She was alone in the forest. She ran for hours. She did not know where to go. At last, the sun began to set. Then Snow White saw a little house. Snow White went inside. She saw a small table. Around the table were 7 little chairs. On the table were 7 little plates. There were 7 little cups. Snow White was very hungry. She ate a little from each plate. She did not want to take too much from anyone. Then she drank a little water from each cup. After that, she was very tired. She went into the next room. There were 7 little beds. She tried one bed after another. At last, she tried the 7th bed. It was just right. Snow White lay down. Soon, she fell asleep. That night, 7 dwarfs came home. They had been working in the mountains. When they came inside, they saw something was different. Then they went into the bedroom. The dwarfs checked each bed. Then the 7th dwarf looked at his bed. There was Snow White. She was still asleep.
She is so beautiful. She is a lovely child.
Do not wake her.
In the morning, Snow White woke up. She saw the 7 dwarfs. At first, she was afraid. Snow White told them her story. The dwarfs felt sorry for her. They said,
You may stay with us,
You can keep the house neat.
and we will help keep you safe.
Thank you. I will gladly stay.
So Snow White lived with the 7 dwarfs. For a time, she was happy. Each morning, the dwarfs went to work. Before they left, they warned her.
Be careful. Do not let anyone in. Do not open the door to strangers.
I will be careful.
Back at the palace, the queen stood before her magic mirror. She asked,
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
The mirror answered,
My queen, you are fair, but Snow White is still alive, and she is fairer than you.
The queen was very angry. She dressed like an old peddler woman. She walked over the hills. She came to the dwarf's little house.
Beautiful laces for sale, pretty ribbons for sale.
Hello? What are you selling?
Just lovely laces, my dear, and ribbons too.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
She forgot the dwarf's warning. She opened the door. The old woman came inside. She said,
Let me tie this lace for you. It will look very pretty.
Snow White trusted her. The old woman tied the lace around Snow White. Then she pulled it tight. Too tight. Snow White could not breathe. She fell to the floor. The old woman laughed and ran away. That evening, the 7 dwarfs came home. They found Snow White on the floor. They saw the lace tied too tight. Quickly, they cut it open. Snow White began to breathe again. The dwarfs were very worried.
That old woman was your stepmother. You must not open the door again.
I am sorry. I will be more careful.
The queen returned to the palace. She stood before the mirror.
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
My queen, you are fair, but Snow White is still alive, and she is fairer than you.
The queen was angry again. This time, she made a poisoned comb. Then she changed her face once more. She dressed as another old woman.
Pretty combs for sale, beautiful combs for lovely hair.
I cannot let you in. The dwarves told me not to open the door.
You do not need to let me in. Just look at this pretty comb.
She liked it very much. Again, she forgot the warning.
Let me fix it in your hair.
The old woman hurried away. That evening, the dwarfs came home. They found Snow White on the floor again. They searched carefully. They found the comb in her hair. They pulled it out. As soon as the comb was gone, Snow White woke up.
Where am I?
You are safe now. You were tricked again. You must never open the door to strangers.
I will remember.
The queen returned to the palace. She asked the mirror again.
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
The mirror answered,
My queen, you are fair, but Snow White is still alive, and she is fairer than you.
The queen was full of rage. The queen made a poisoned apple.
Now she will taste the last bite.
The apple looked fresh and sweet. One side was safe. The other side was poisoned. Then the queen dressed as a farmer woman. She went to the dwarf's house.
Fresh apples, sweet apples from the orchard.
I cannot let anyone in.
That is all right. I do not need to come in. Here, have one. Here, I will cut this apple in half.
Okay.
I will eat one half. You may eat the other half.
She took one bite. At once, Snow White fell to the ground. The queen smiled. Then she went back to the palace. When the 7 dwarfs came home, they found Snow White. They tried to wake her. They tried everything, but nothing worked. She did not breathe. She did not wake. The dwarfs cried for her. They could not put her in the ground. She still looked so beautiful. She looked as if she was sleeping. So the dwarfs made a coffin of clear glass. They placed Snow White inside. They carried the glass coffin to a mountain. One dwarf always stayed near her. The others took turns keeping watch. Back at the palace, the queen asked the mirror,
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
The mirror answered,
You, my queen, are the fairest of all.
The queen was happy. One day, a prince rode through the forest. He came to the mountain. There he saw the glass coffin. Inside it, he saw Snow White. The prince was moved by her beauty.
Please let me take her with me. I will treasure her forever.
No, we cannot let her go. We love Snow White. We do not want to lose her.
I understand your sorrow, but I promise I will care for her with all my heart. Please trust me.
Maybe he can protect her. Then you may take her, but please keep her safe.
I promise.
The prince's servants lifted the coffin. The piece of poisoned apple came out of Snow White's throat. At once, Snow White began to breathe.
Where am I?
You are safe now. Come with me to my castle. Will you be my queen?
Yes, I will.
A grand wedding was planned. Snow White and the prince were married. Many guests came to the wedding.
I will love you with all my heart.
And I will love you forever.
The wicked queen was invited too. She still thought Snow White was dead. Before she left, she stood before her mirror.
Mirror, mirror, on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
The mirror answered,
My queen, you are fair, but the new queen is fairer than you.
The wicked queen felt afraid. She wanted to know who the new queen was. So she went to the wedding. At the wedding, she saw Snow White. Snow White was the new queen. The wicked queen was shocked. In the old story, the wicked queen was punished. Snow White and the prince ruled with kindness. They lived with joy. Snow White never forgot the 7 dwarfs. The dwarfs visited her often. They were always welcome. And they all lived happily ever after.